Hello and welcome to SKB Shots. అండ్ నాతో జాయ్ భట్టాచార్య ఉన్నారు. ఆయన మీ అందరికీ పరిచయమే, మీరు ఆయన చూసే ఉంటారు చాలా మటుకు క్రికెట్ వీడియోల్లో. బట్ క్రికెట్ మాత్రమే కాదు, మిగతా స్పోర్ట్స్ అన్నిట్లో కూడా ఆయన నిష్ణాతులు. ఆయన క్విజ్ అనేది కూడా చాలా ఫేమస్గా ఉండే ఉంటుంది. బట్ ప్రస్తుతానికి ఇక్కడ ప్రైమ్ వాలీబాల్ లీగ్ వ్యవస్థాపకులుగా ఉన్నారు. ఆయనతో మాట్లాడదాం. జాయ్, వాజ్ జస్ట్ ఇంట్రడ్యూసింగ్ యూ అండ్ టెలింగ్ అబౌట్ యూ. సో జాయ్, లెట్స్ స్టార్ట్ right away with what you have done for volleyball. You know, there were a lot of other leagues that came in when this idea came to your mind. So what were those, if I may put it, like points of parity and points of difference that you have incorporated in this league?
So I think if you're talking about other sporting leagues, I think one of the things I realized in India is that one is that leagues, as team sports are suitable to leagues. Otherwise what happens is loyalty is very difficult to follow. For example, if a PV Sindhu is playing badminton for somebody, she's still PV Sindhu, right? You know, and the identity of the team is hidden behind the identity of the star. So I was very aware, and then if you look at the team sports, I think volleyball and basketball are two games that look very good on television. They're excellent television sports, and volleyball has a genuine opportunity in India because it is a grassroots sports in India. It's one of the few sports that's truly rural and truly urban as well. So what happens is volleyball is played by, you know, Parsi Babas in colonies. If you watch Elephant Whisperer, you'll see somebody playing volleyball in the background in the villages of Tamil Nadu as well. So that's what volleyball is, and if we can capture this and make this work, it's a huge thing for India.
Joy, generally, you know, we are all told, and we also believe that test cricket is something that is close to life. But I think volleyball is also close to life because there is a challenge thrown to you. You have to embrace the challenge and then prepare yourself and finally attack the challenge. And also you should be very careful of what is immediately coming to you. So I think volleyball represents life in that sense also. And the sport, as you have said, is such a beautiful sport to watch on television. And when you started this, and then there was a break for 2-3 years because from pro it became prime. So what was going through your mind at that point of time?
No, so to be honest with you, I got plenty of opportunities to do other things. And my thing was with the players. You see the players and the difference in the look when they saw themselves on Sony television, they saw themselves on OTT platform, looking at themselves. See, players don't just play for money. They start for the love of the game. Once they reach it, yes, money is important because everyone has families to run, everyone has needs. But they play for the pride, they play for recognition, and that's what Pro Volleyball gave them. So I was very clear that somehow or the other we cannot allow bad administrators, greedy administrators to stop these people from becoming stars. And the second is that by the time we did Pro Volleyball, we understood, and even FIVB, the people in, you know, their governing body told us that India has huge potential as a volleyball country. The basic athletic skills are there. So it's a matter of building the sport, getting some more training in, getting in more expert help, and India could really be a global powerhouse in volleyball. And for me, that opportunity to say that, you know, to help a game really grow in India, that was a huge thing for me.
And then when you started Prime Volleyball, and there was COVID's a third wave or something like that, Omicron, and you had to start in bubble and ask all the team owners to invest more. So how was that challenge and how did you embrace that?
It was wonderful. I mean, the way some of the team owners came, you know, we got so much help from the, you know, the Kochi, the Muthuts. Somebody like Safir of Calicut said that, you know, I love volleyball and volleyball has given me everything. I want to give back to volleyball. Abhi and the Hyderabad owners, how supportive they were. Do you know that the Prime Volleyball first edition was meant to be held in Kochi originally, and we moved it on 10 days notice, and it was only possible because of the Hyderabad Blackhawks team. They amazing. In 10 days they moved an entire tournament, and in a time where, you know, movement is restricted, everything is restricted. So it was absolutely marvelous. So I think that's the spirit with which people started off, that, you know, we want to make a difference, we want to make change, and I think that spirit is still there in the owners.
And you know, there have been some tremendous successful stories. For example, Santosh has played at the university level, and now with Prime Volleyball is again into the national selection. So this is a story that we are also as a part of the commentary team trying to tell people. But this is a phenomenal story, and there are many people like that from the league.
So many. I mean, Santosh is one great example. Nanda suddenly rising. Setu is today, I mean, the fearless way in which he's played, it's absolutely amazing. You see, one of the things this format does for you is because it's a short format, and there are super points which are like more important because they're double-edged. One of the things you need to be when you play this league is very brave, because a good team might lose to a braver team who's willing to take more risks and take more chances and believe in their players. And that is something which is really good for players because it encourages them to play big game volleyball. And that's important. When you're going to play for the country, every point is going to be big. So when you build that resilience, saying that I have been through points like this when super points in prime volleyball and 14 all in prime volleyball, that will build that. And I think that is something extremely important. And you're right, there's one set of players like that. There's another set of players so one is the players who got recognized here and became stars here straight out of universities. The other is people who had literally said, I have nothing more to get from volleyball because, there's no point playing the nationals anymore because there's nothing more. And then coming back to the game, Naveen Raja Jacob in season 1, at that time he became serious about volleyball again. He would have played this season if he wasn't injured. Somebody like an Ukra Pandyan, somebody like a Janshad, somebody like a Ratish, they have also come back because they've said in their careers, this is an opportunity that's finally come and they've taken it.
Right. And you spoke about the format. My next question was on the same lines, because you've introduced Super Point and you've introduced Super Serve, and then it is not a 25-point set anymore. It is a 15-point set. And initially it was, both the teams had to play 5-setter. And now it is, of course, the best of 3, and whosoever wins 3 sets, it's fine. So what went through in designing this format and getting in all these super points and super serves?
Okay, 2 things. One is that volleyball is not seen on TV at all other than the Olympic Games and the Asian Games. Otherwise you don't see it on TV at all. And that's something prime volleyball changed. The second part of it was saying that is a problem because there are no stars known in volleyball. Nobody knew any Indian players in volleyball. But it was also an opportunity because we could do something that nobody else can try. And we looked at it exactly like 50 over cricket and 20 over cricket. Can you make a format exciting? And we discovered that in most volleyball games between 10 and 20, the game wanders. Somebody will take a lead, somebody will come back. People lose interest. Secondly, super points add to you are actually putting pressure on serve. Okay? And therefore your ability to serve well, it changes the way you serve. It changes the way you look at the game. Super serve, similarly, it forces you to actually take much more receptions because you're scared that the 2-pointer might happen. It is very fascinating. If people think, coaches are saying that, this is something they're not used to. Of course, coaches will find difficulty in adjusting to it. But the truth of it is, FIVB loves it because it's a lab. This is where innovation is happening. See, innovation only happens in places where you can make things happen. Today, if you go to the Italian league and say from 25, I'm going to go to 15 overnight, they'll go crazy. But if you say, look, this is what's happening in India, this is how it's happened, then and see how the results are, then they might look at it very differently.
Absolutely.
And it's exactly the same. I remember myself on a personal journey. When the IPL started, the first thing I thought was, this 50 over match, that's what it should have been. IPL should have been IPL, but instead of 20 overs, you should have had 50 overs. After 2 years of doing IPL, I definitely believe 20 overs is a much, much better format than 50 overs. And I think that is the thing. We had that opportunity, we took that chance, and I sincerely believe it adds to the game. Difficult for coaches to like it because they are not used to coaching in this format. Secondly, as I said, it basically favors braver teams. It favors team more who want to take more chances.
And also, if you get some business into this angle, viewers want fast-paced games. They want to see such kind of sport. They do not want where they can cool down for a bit and then take it slow, and then the pace of the game drops. They do not want to see such sports on television. So this is again adding too much value to the consumer, in fact.
Absolutely. So the issue is that people think that no, they will watch 15-point volleyball or 25-point volleyball. No. They're going to watch 15-point volleyball or Shark Tank or Premier League football or NBA basketball. So the choice is I have to put something out there. It is not that somebody is switching between 2 volleyball channels. And that is what people must understand, that today whenever you watch a sport, the person who's taking that remote, there is nothing saying that he will only watch sports.
He can watch anything.
Anything that entertains him is important. So for us to sit and say that I want to play purist volleyball, if it's not interesting people will not watch. We have no opportunity.
So you touched upon the coaches. The first season there was one foreign coach, and this season there are many. So I think as what we have done with cricket, trying to be the torchbearer in cricket with IPL and all, what has happened post IPL, I think post prime volleyball also something of the similar sort is happening.
No, absolutely. And you see some of the ways, you can see the difference, the way people set, the way the kind of pipe attacks are happening, the way that, and also the difference in physical fitness. the difference in the kind of data available to players, so they know much more. They understand, forget other people's game, they understand their game much better. This is where I play well, this is where I block well, this is what I need to watch out for. So much your development you're seeing, and if this development continues, I mean, India will be a volleyball powerhouse soon.
We were also celebrating Mr. Jimmy George, whose birth anniversary was yesterday, and he actually went to Italy and played. Guru Prashant had the opportunity. Had he not been injured, Abhishek was telling me the other day that he was pushing him to go and play. Ashwal has gotten some similar opportunities. So we are actually knocking the doors, and in fact, we are breaking the doors. We are telling people that India is a powerhouse of volleyball.
Absolutely, and we need more and more players to do that. We'd love to see players go. That's one of the things we are actively pushing with FIV. We send our players abroad, let them get experience abroad. Let them actually play. That's one of the things that football is suffering from now. Not enough Indian footballers are going abroad to play and getting that experience and coming back. And we really need to do that with volleyball. We are trying our best. We'll be very happy if players go. Not because of anything else. I mean, we might miss them in the league, but might be the league maybe at a different time. But the point of it is we need to give Indian players international experience. You know that I just want to tell you that, Subbarao, who's now with the Chennai franchise, every year for 10 years, he requested the federation to allow him to play abroad. Every year, his request was not granted. This is what we have done to our own volleyball players. That generation of Abhijit, Subba, so many great players. They were silver medalists in the Under-21 World Cup. And, they just could not fulfill their passion because of what happened. We cannot allow them to that to happen with this generation of Indian volleyball.
And also, Joy, from the part of the country that I come from, there is a lot of emphasis on cricket, and the other sports persons who we get to know through newspaper or TV channels is only when there is an Arjuna award or a Dronacharya award or something like that. And in volleyball, it has been decades since a Telugu person got an Arjuna or a Dronacharya award. But with this Pro Volleyball League coming into picture, there are schools, I can in fact name a few schools, few government schools who want to watch a volleyball league, who want to come down and watch. And Abhishek and the Hyderabad Blackhawks franchise have been really good. They have given them tickets, have made them watch last time when league was happening. I think the kind of emotion that people are getting attached to Prime Volleyball should be a great result for you in these 3 years.
No, absolutely, and we just want to take it further and further. This is a league for players, this is a league for fans, then it is a league for anyone else. And as long as we keep it that way, I think we'll do well.
And what are your future plans with respect to league? What do you want to do? Do you want to expand into more teams, or what?
See, we've got 9. I'm happy with 9. If there's a 10th comes, that's about it. I think we should consolidate that, just build a bigger and bigger property. I think this is, if you see the competition level, it has risen dramatically this year. It's rising every year. The skill level, competition level is driving every year. I just want to, right now, year by year, want to make it as big as possible. Then there are other thoughts, women's league, beach volleyball, all those are other thoughts. But first, let my central product be as good as possible.
And also, when you have the product ready, the first and the foremost question is scheduling. Which part of the year you should schedule Prime Volleyball, and have been consistent throughout. You have had this February-March window continuously, keeping in mind all the other leagues that happen. Are you satisfied with this time zone, or you want to?
There are a couple of other good time zones as well. We are looking at it because, see, one of the advantages of volleyball is it's an indoor sport. And at the end of the day, the one thing that happens in India is that in monsoons, almost all sports stops in India. So that also may be a good opportunity. It's all a matter of time. You see, other than the IPL, which is a killer for any sport because it is so big, every other time is an opportunity for us. And I think this opportunity worked well for us, but maybe we will be better other places as well we can look.
First season it was in Hyderabad because of the COVID bio-bubble and all. Last season there were 3 venues. This season again it is in Chennai. So do you plan to make it, take it to different cities?
Definitely plan to take it to different cities. I think definitely we'll look at a city from the north and the west very soon. Okay, we have to look at that. And of course look at one, when we did the league in Hyderabad, there was a lot of interest and excitement which built there. Again, when we did in Bangalore, we got an interest, and those people who got interested are watching this year, even on TV. So we want to take it to other cities. Anyone who samples this in the stadium, it always becomes a devoted this thing. So as many people as we can make sample, the better it is for us.
Right. And Joy, we have seen some great results for Indian national team also, with what happened in the Asian Games. And Chennai, there was World Club competitions also that was conducted in India. Next year also it is happening in Chennai. So we are actually calling everybody to India for volleyball.
Absolutely. And that's what it is. Dragan, who's the coach of the Ahmedabad, is probably going to take over as the coach of the Indian team after this, which means we've tried to do that to give continuity to Indian volleyball. And Regan therefore has this fantastic opportunity to see all the players that he wants to see the best of the players, see the promising players, see the young players, and take the Indian team forward. That's nothing would make us more proud if India was to soon play the Olympics volleyball.
When I spoke about volleyball to with my friends and my family, they said in Telugu, "Anta podugu vallu untaru, itne lambe milenge kya?" And now you see Ashwal, you see every which is Rajan. They're tall. They're 6'6", 6'7", and they are literally they are like the lighthouses standing and doing all those blocks.
Absolutely. You find not only that, the beauty is you're finding fantastic tall athletic players. Secondly, you're finding 5'11", 6-foot players who are amazing. I mean, somebody like a Nanda or a Setu, Raki, Satu, all of them are playing absolutely fantastic. So I love both of these, that we are getting, it's no longer good enough to be tall. You've got to be athletic as well. And today you can see many tall boys standing outside while young, more athletic blockers are inside. And I think that's fantastic for the game. But yeah, it is really, we look, in a country of 1.4 billion people, you will find enough tall athletic people if you go out and look for them. Right. And I think now, if there is people see there's prime volleyball, why do people come to sport? Because they see heroes out there. They see somebody, they see an Ajit Lal on TV, they see an Nanda on TV, they see an Ashwal on TV. We are showing them that. And when they want to, there was this lovely video which from the Brahmaputra Volleyball League which I got sent, where there's a young kid who is practicing setting with Ukra written in pen on his back. And that tells you, we have started to make heroes. These people will dream of being volleyball players. They will come and bring us, they will take volleyball to its next level in India.
And how satisfied are you with the broadcast results with respect to ratings and everything?
So far, so good. I mean, we are a solid property. We are a really solid, fantastic property. But we can go even higher than this. I mean, look, as I said, we haven't had the kind of money spent on us like some other indoor leagues have had. We've not had that opportunity. But for what we've done, all our following is genuine, it's solid. And if we can just push hard enough, there are enough volleyball players in India to make this really big.
Joy, you are a master of many trades and you don different hats. What keeps you going?
Nothing. I mean, I'm just fortunate. I'm blessed to be work. I'm blessed to do things I enjoy doing. And there are very few people who can say that. I'm blessed to work in sport, which is something which has interested me all my life. And how many people can say people, do other things? They do a job for 5 days a week and they take a holiday on the weekend. I do the job I like 7 days a week. So I have no regrets at all. I really enjoy my work. That's the only thing that keeps me going.
You are such an inspiration, Joy. Thank you for doing this with us. And before we go, this is my practice with all the guests that I talk to. I want them to speak 1 or 2 lines in Telugu.
Okay, go for it.
So we will stick to volleyball only. Here you have to say Volleyball League tappakunda chudandi.
Volleyball League tappakunda churandi.
Yeah, can you look at the camera and see?
Volleyball League tappakunda churandi.
And let's do this pushpa style. Let's do this if you don't mind.
How do you do that?
You have to do this.
Okay.
And taggedele. Just taggedele. Taggedele. Yeah, super. Thank you so much, Joy, for doing this with us, and I hope through my channel I'll be able to do some bit of contribution towards the game, and people loving volleyball will take it on their shoulders and lift the game to whichever heights it is possible.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure being.
Thank you.